Now, Humanitarian Organisation Al-Imdaad is on ground in Turkiye. That's the death toll rather in earthquakes nears 8,000, we understand. But the clock is also ticking to find survivors as many remain trapped under rubble. Al-Imdaad spokesperson Qari Ziyaad Patel joins us now live. And Qari, thank you so much for your time and good morning to you. I mean, take us through the reality on the ground. What exactly do you see? How disastrous is this from where you stand?
Good morning to all the viewers out there. Of course, yes, I think we as humanitarians, we only see a disaster of this magnitude maybe once in a decade. To find two earthquakes in the same zone in a span of 12 hours, that's really something which one cannot comprehend, one cannot even fathom. Even from a scientific point of view, this is so difficult for us to grapple with. And one can only imagine the effects of this disaster. So in order for us to understand the context, we must understand the entire dynamics of this area. The Turkish population that resides in this part, which has been affected, are a host population for thousands, literally thousands of Syrian refugees, therefore making the area densely populated. Official reports are telling us that over 6,618 buildings have collapsed. So one can just imagine the death toll, how the death toll is going to rise, and how many thousands of people have now become homeless. This is simply a catastrophe, a humanitarian catastrophe. And it seems to me like buildings have dropped like dominoes. And as we are speaking right now, as we are communicating, people are still gasping for air under that rubble.
I mean, with that being said, right now the reports stating that 8,000 people are confirmed dead. Is that a true reflection? You mentioned that the picture on the ground is almost impossible to comprehend in terms of, the number and the damage, the extent of it, because, the numbers will keep rising. But from where you stand, with local reports, where's the death toll standing right now, unfortunately?
Trust me, 8,000 is a very conservative figure. It's a very conservative figure. Remember something, there are various dynamics to this entire disaster as we stand right now. The weather is posing a huge challenge for us, a logistical challenge. So, of course, yes, there are many search and rescue teams from across the globe who want to come through and help to save lives. Time is of the essence. But because of the logistical challenge, weather, we have impending snow as well. These are all somewhat stunting our ability to be there on the ground and save lives. So the entire situation looks very bleak at present. And of course, yes, if I can just describe to you what we see on the ground, what's happening right here, it's like an Armageddon. Honestly speaking, it's like an Armageddon. I've heard a report that the energy produced from these two earthquakes, which happened around the same time, is equivalent to 8 million tons of TNT. That's the amount of energy which has been produced from these two earthquakes, which struck the very same area within the span of 12 hours. We're not even talking about the aftershocks. Hence, that death toll is going to rise. More buildings are going to collapse. We don't know how many people may survive this catastrophe.
So tragic. But Qari, where are you right now? Where's your location?
At present, we are en route to the disaster zones. But as we are saying, we are having certain delays. Of course, yes, there's an entire delegation with us. The synergies are there, the energy is there, the spirits are high. But of course, yes, we are facing some challenges in getting into the disaster zones. But hopefully, in a few hours, we will enter into the depths of these disaster zones and start with our emergency relief distributions, our search and rescue work, etc. As part of the Al-Imdaad Foundation, we have highlighted shelter, hot meals, as well as crucial winter relief packs which need to be distributed to those that have been left homeless. There are literally thousands of families that have been left homeless. I just wanted to understand, if 6,618 buildings have collapsed, imagine how many families and how many individuals are now displaced as we speak, and it's about to snow.
We spoke about the death toll earlier on, and when you talk about search and rescue, I just wonder, do you know the amount of people that may still be trapped under the rubble?
It's very, very difficult for us to understand this, so we don't have proper data. In fact, even the authorities on the ground, they could not answer this question because we don't know who is actually really under the rubble. Yes, many family people from different parts of Turkey are converging in this zone to try and help their loved ones. We just heard a report of one person who said to us up to 12 people in his family are actually stuck under the rubble. That's just one family. So it's very hard for us to quantify and exactly say how many people are right now under the rubble.
Yeah. And just in terms of help and global relief efforts, I mean, yourselves as Al-Imdaad Foundation doing the best that you can to be out there on the ground, assisting with food, clothing for those displaced, needing that assistance right now. But I'm sure all the help you can receive right now would go a long way to those thousands of people that need that help. So what would be your appeal right now to the world in terms of those assisting, donations? What is of need right now?
As I've mentioned, this is a disaster which we cannot even comprehend. Even scientists are trying to grapple around this entire thing. It's such a huge disaster. And of course, yes, we are going to be needing donations for the path going forward to have sustainable distributions and aid for the people that are suffering. And of course, yes, we make a humble appeal to anyone out there. You're more than welcome to assist us, whether it may be in donations, whether it may be in expertise, whatever it may be, whichever capacity. And I can say to you one thing, I can tell you that the human spirit across the globe is very, very, very strong. This disaster has proven to us that we've left our differences aside and we've come together as humanity to help humanity. And for me, this is something that brings a lot of solace to the heart, to see the energy and the synergies which have been come together to help human beings. This is just simply amazing. And this gives us great confidence in humanity going forward. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And that's the message I can say, that the world has come together to help Turkey in a time of need. Remember, for Turkey to declare this as an international disaster, disaster, this for them is a highlight, because they are really a nation which are very beefed up, very organized, etc. That tells you how dire the situation on the ground is.
We'll leave it there, Qari. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Qari Ziyaad Patel, all the way in Turkey right now, assisting with those relief efforts. Thousands displaced. One family alone losing up to 12 family members who are still stuck beneath the rubble. We know that the number that we're reporting on is 8,000 of those confirmed dead. But as Qari's speaking to me right now, saying that number could be well conservative, it could be well more as, of course, they continue to see that number increasing, including of those who are potentially still stuck under that rubble. So all the help needed around the world would go a long way. Al-Imdaad spokesperson Qari Ziyaad Patel, thank you so much for your time.